Hello. Today I'm going to talk about lab solutions or lab math. The reason why this is important is because often in lab, you're making solutions and buffers and other things based off of a stock solution, which is heavily concentrated in order to save space. So in order to be able to convert this into the solution that you want, this math is important. So I'm going to start off with an easier question as based off of the equation. So we have 50 times solution of TDS, and we want 3 liters for a 5 times solution of TDS. So this 50 times would be our stock solution. So before we begin, it's helpful to write down the equation that will be used. The equation will be used is the concentration 1 times volume 1 equals concentration 2 times volume. Okay, so now we need to identify which one is which. So the first concentration is the 50 times, like that. And we're looking for the volume that we need in order to make the second concentration 5 and 3 liters of it. So at this point, it becomes simple algebra, and we're using the equation in order to find the volume one. And we'll get 0.3 liters. Now we'll convert this into milliliters because in lab it's a lot easier to work in milliliters than in liters. Now that we found that we need 300 milliliters of this 50 times solution, we are to get the 5 times. So yes, we need a total of 3 liters. Which is also converted to 3,000 milliliters. So this is the total volume that we need, but this is the volume that we need of this TDS solution. So we'll take the total volume that we need and subtract it from the amount that we just calculated that we needed in the stock solution. We'll get 2,700 milliliters. Now this will be the water we need to fill. That plus 300 milliliters of 50 times TDS will give you your 3 liters of 5 times TDS. So this is one of the simpler questions you might get, but one of the tougher ones I found was the one where you don't necessarily need to use the equation. Here we see that the question wants us to make 3 liters of 5 times Tris buffer. But this time, it'll also give us the ingredients for Tris. So often it will be in millimoles. Our first thing that we want to do is convert each of these ingredient lists into grams so we can determine how many grams are needed to make this Tris buffer. So to convert into grams, you must first convert each of the ingredients into moles. The millimoles, so we'll simply divide each by 1,000 millimoles it takes to get to 1 mole. that these millimoles cancel out there. That would give us the moles. Now that we have moles, it's also important that if a question is asking you to find this amount of Trish buffer from this ingredient list, it must also provide you with the molecular weight of each of the compounds. Now, I'm saying this because it may help you to answer the question. Once my teacher asked us to find something like this without giving us the molecular weight. So because of that, a lot of the class, they didn't do so well. He allowed us to retake it, but that just shows that what the question provides can offer a hint to how to solve it. So now that we have found the moles that we need, now we have to take this time each of its respective molecular weights. This is Trish that has the 121.4. We do this because this is in grams per mole. This depends out the moles and give us this grams. We take 121.4 and 2, get 2.42 grams. Do this with the NaCl, has no molecular weight 58.44. Moles cancel out. Get 0.28, which gives us 16.36. And finally, do the same. Calcium chloride. Left. 0.555. Now, I would advise that you keep this all in order to add how many grams of the compound is, so you won't lose track of it. So from here, what we just calculated is how many grams it takes of each compound in order to make 1 liter of a one-time solution. However, the question is asking for 3 liters, 5 times solution. So in order to do this, we have to take each of the grams and multiply them by the 3 that is asking for liters and the 5 in the concentration. So starting with Trish 2.42 times 5 for the concentration, also times 3 for the liter, you get 12.1. Take the 16.86 grams of NaCl times the 5 times 3, you get 245 grams. So, and then if you take the 0.5 grams, with that times with 5 times 3, you get 8.325 grams of calcium chloride. This is how many grams you have to add, but you also still have to add the liquid. So because we wanted 3 liters, that is the same as 3,000 milliliters of water. So in order to get 3 liters of 5 times Trish buffer, you have to add 12.1 grams of trig to 245.4 grams of NaCl to 8.825 grams of calcium chloride to 3,000 milliliters of water. And that's how you would get that. Now, sometimes they will include a pH, and most teachers will just let you put